Buckle up, space explorers. The cosmos is packed with mind-blowing secrets and some seriously spine-tingling surprises. Let's dive into the top 10 amazing yet eerie space facts that will leave you starstruck. Starting off strong at number 10. Did you know that 12 brave astronauts have already set foot on our lunar neighbor, leaving behind an otherworldly legacy of human presence? Let's take a closer look at what makes these space facts so out of this world creepy. Number 10 was just the beginning. Did you know that the 12 lunar visitors left behind an eternal imprint, literally? Their footprints are preserved forever because of the moon's atmosphere-free zone, no wind or weather to erase them, making them as fresh as yesterday. And here's another eerie twist: the flags planted on the moon's surface have quietly surrendered to its harsh conditions. They've all turned a ghostly white. But before we get too comfortable with this otherworldly reality, let's move on to number 9. Buckle up and get ready for a mind-blowing fact. The moon's distance from Earth is seriously further than you'd think. At its farthest point, our lunar neighbor can be a whopping 405,000 kilometers away. That's like lining up every planet in our solar system between us and the moon with room to spare. You might think it's crazy we can still spot the moon in our daily sky, but here's the thing: the moon is actually one of the closest major objects to Earth, and its proximity makes it visible to us because it's essentially a giant reflector, catching and bouncing the sun's light straight into our eyes. Next up, let's dive into fact number 8. Get ready to flip your cosmic perspective. Galaxies are getting in on the galactic cannibalism action. Don't worry, no humans involved, but smaller galaxies being consumed by larger ones is a seriously common occurrence. When a big galaxy meets a tiny one, it's not always a collision that creates a new, merged galaxy. Sometimes the smaller one gets completely swallowed up, and what remains is an even bigger, more powerful cosmic force. Fun fact: our very own Milky Way is a galactic cannibal, with a history of munching on smaller galaxies to become the majestic celestial body we know today. Imagine if it hadn't gobbled them all up. We might be living in a completely different universe. Next stop, fact number 7, buckle up, or should I say, buckle in and grab your spacesuit. Let's dive into the mind-blowing consequences of venturing into space without one. You'd be out cold within 15 seconds, but even if you managed to hang on, things would take a seriously weird turn. Your body fluids would start to boil due to the extreme pressure change, and guess what? You'd inflate like a giant balloon, swelling up to twice your size. The wild part: you wouldn't pop or explode because our skin is way more stretchy than you'd think. Instead, you'd slowly morph into a space blob. So, next time you're planning an extraterrestrial adventure, don't forget the spacesuit. Trust us on this one. Get ready to warp your mind. Time travel isn't just for sci-fi. On Earth, our clocks tick in sync with our orbit around the sun, but blast off into space, and it's game on for time perception. You'd age slower than Earthlings if you're chillin' in a space station because you're not dancing to the planet's gravitational beat. But if you were hanging out super close to the sun, like on Mercury, it's speed up, baby. Your aging process would be faster. Now, here's the cool part: astronauts on the International Space Station, moving at an insane 28,000 kilometers per hour, actually age about 1/100th of a second less after 6 months in space. Mind blown, right? You've got that right. Astronauts on the International Space Station are literally the fastest humans in the universe. Now, let's talk about something a bit stinky, y'all. Did you know that space actually reeks? Scientists tried to bottle up the smell of outer space, and it's not pretty, or should I say, it's not pleasant. They've described it as worn-out space suits, but honestly, it might be even grosser than that. Think along the lines of a strong mix of sweaty helmets and, well, human vomit. Yep, you read that right. Let's dive back into that not-so-great smell of space. Apparently, it's so off-putting that even the most seasoned astronauts can't stand it. But here's another interesting detail: one brave astronaut reported a weird aftertaste in space. Can you guess what it was? That's right, chicken. Although we might be able to get used to some of the smells and sights up there, there's a pretty mind-blowing fact that has space enthusiasts worried the night sky could go dark. Imagine it: no stars, no satellites, no planets, just an endless blackness. It's a thought-provoking reminder that our galaxy is constantly changing, and who knows what other secrets it still holds. You might remember us talking about the Milky Way getting ready for its intergalactic buffet. Yes, It turns out our galaxy is slowly being engulfed by two neighboring clouds. This cosmic collision is going to take billions of years, but when it happens, it'll drastically change the way we see the stars. But let's shift gears to something even more chilling. Did you know that there are actual dead bodies floating around in space? It's true, fallen astronauts and cosmonauts have joined the ranks of celestial debris, leaving behind an eerie reminder of humanity's ventures into the cosmos. Fasten your seatbelts for this out-of-this-world fact. There are actual human remains drifting through the cosmos right now. We're not talking about mere debris. We're discussing the bodies of people who lost their lives during space missions, like the ill-fated crew members of the Soviet Soyuz 11 and American Space Shuttle Challenger. A total of 19 astronauts have paid the ultimate price in space, leaving behind an unforgettable legacy. But that's not all. Pioneers like Gene Roddenberry, creator of Star Trek, have even chosen to be sent off into the cosmos after passing away, with his remains being launched in 1992 as a tribute to his astronomical impact on TV. As for what's next, who knows? Space burial might just become a growing trend or even a commercial service. Talk about taking your final bow among the stars. Buckle up for this cosmic reality check. Living in space is like nothing on Earth. It's not for the faint of heart. It takes years of intense training, a hefty price tag, and the support of massive space agencies. We're far from being a Martian nation just yet, despite Elon Musk's ambitious plans. But there are indeed brave individuals who call space home, or have at some point. One of the weirdest aspects, sleeping in zero gravity, you guessed it, requires strapping yourself down to your bed. Your limbs literally float around while you snooze, making for a one-of-a-kind slumber experience that's out of this world. Space living isn't all it's cracked up to be. Astronauts face some serious physical and practical challenges. Prolonged time in space can leave them with long-term muscle loss, particularly affecting their back and leg strength, as they're not using these muscles nearly enough. This can result in lifelong health complications that sadly may never fully heal. And then there's the everyday task of getting clean. Taking a bath is anything but straightforward when water floats around like it's weightless. To simplify things, astronauts often use special soaps that don't require rinsing to keep them squeaky clean up there. Get ready for a reality check. Our world is more vulnerable than you think. Space holds some seriously unsettling secrets, and here's one that'll send chills down your spine. We could lose everything in an instant. Rogue comets or meteors are the ultimate cosmic wildcards. They can strike Earth without any warning at all, leaving us no time to react. And even if scientists do manage to spot a potentially planet-destroying meteor on its way, there's little to nothing we can do to stop it. History has shown us that mass extinctions aren't just ancient news. The dinosaurs' demise is a grim reminder that our planet's been here before, and sadly, it won't be the last time. Space might just hold the ultimate surprise, one that could change everything in a split second. That's all we can say about our uncertain future in space. The next mass extinction is coming, but its exact timing, out of our hands. Thanks for tuning into today's unsettling yet eye-opening video. If you liked it, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Crazy Stuff for more jaw-dropping content.